Anyone have a good bit to start with? Because I didn't come prepared.
I didn't either. Holty, this is you.
Bits, come on.
You're the bit guy.
I can't think of one else.
I have a good one for the end, so don't steal it.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of like the big quotes and not just like passing quotes I love in that movie.
Pottery breaking noise.
Oh, we can actually just break something in there.
If we-
Let's not.
Yeah,
Man,
the ceramic breaking sound.
If we could just add the ceramic breaking sound at the beginning.
You know, when Hootie
Oh,
can't
we
come
will.
up with a bit, it's a real wet hot American bummer.
Woof.
Oh, man. Brutal.
No way you're getting 61 seconds after that.
No, sorry. Thanks for listening, anyone who's tuning out already. You gave it a try.
It's great to podcast even for an hour.
That's the end.
Damn it.
That's after we do an hour. How could you not know? You know the episodes are about an hour long.
As I was saying it, I was like, this is definitely what his ending bit is. But I'd already started saying
All right, whatever. You guys, as you guys know, I don't know how to start the podcast yet, so it'll either be starting at the end with the best joke that was going to happen in the entire 70 minutes or so, or it'll be something along the lines of "Welcome to Late to the Movies." My name is Ben Holt, and this is a podcast where my friends and I get to fill in our movie blind spots every week. We'll pick a movie that either I or a guest hadn't seen before and really should have by now. This week, continuing Summer Camp Month, the fourth edition of Summer Camp Month, it's Wet Hot American Summer. Your guest this week, my guest this week, everyone's guest this week, left, right, across your podcast dial. We got Sam,
hello.
Bree,
Hello.
Colin,
Hello.
and Vaz.
Hello.
And this is going to be a fun one. We're on another Mondo episode. It's the third or fourth time we've done a 5-person one, so if the sound quality is bad, that is Sam and Bree's fault.
You're welcome.
They're the ones that are sharing mics today. But it should be fine if they know it's good for them. So before we get into what is one of my favorite movies, we always on this show like to talk about just, stuff you've been watching lately. Fun stuff, interesting stuff, boring stuff that you thought was bad. I don't know, anything. We've expanded the definition to include literally anything you've watched since the last time you've been on the podcast. Which for Colin just means, I guess you have a few decades to pick from. But anyone watch anything good recently?
I finished watching Nathan For You.
Nice.
And that series finale. Oh, very, very, very good.
Have you gotten into the rehearsal yet?
No, not yet. I will be after I finish the 7th season of The X-Files.
Okay. See, I feel like you would have gone Nathan For You into the rehearsal, but I guess The X-Files is also a fairly natural next step.
That's just not how I watch stuff.
Rehearsal's great, but I don't think you guys have watched it yet either, so we don't have to talk about it.
I haven't even watched Nathan For You, though I really should. Every episode of Nathan For You I've seen is fantastic.
Yeah, the rehearsal is weird. It's hard to recommend. It really depends on the person. Like I had one friend who I was over their house last week and I was like, okay, you're going to watch the first episode now. And he couldn't breathe. He was laughing so hard. And there's some friends that I would be afraid to recommend it to them, what they think I would think of them, that I would think that they'd like it. So yeah, it's you got to thread the needle on that particular recommendation.
For sure.
What have you guys been watching?
So July was a huge month for a bunch of shows coming back. What We Do in the Shadows came back, and that has been phenomenal so far. Baby Colin Robinson, or whatever they call him, the long ass title. That's been a weird subplot.
It's actually a spoiler to say his full name title, so we can't do that.
That's fair, I guess. But then Harley Quinn came back,
Yes,
and
it
that's
did.
always a fun ride. Yeah, the Harley Quinn show is phenomenal. One of the best adult animated shows I think out there currently.
Yeah, don't have your kids watch it.
No, definitely this is not for children. Especially the latest season. I feel like it's even raunchier than the previous seasons. There was full on sex. And that's not Batman and Catwoman, the cowards. They took that scene out. But anyway, still the season's very good. It is raunchier than the previous seasons. And then the last thing that has started started. There's not a new season. Like, this show has just started. It's actually the new Pretty Little Liars show is actually very good.
Oh, at death's door or in hell. What they're like
I think
doing
it's
some horror thing.
The
now.
Original Sin.
Ah,
Yes.
original
Yeah,
sin.
Original Sin.
I like my titles more.
Yeah, I didn't like the original Pretty Little Liars. Like, I watched it all through and then I stopped, I think, an episode into the last season because their time skip was just stupid. But the new show is a much campier horror slasher, and it is fun. It doesn't take itself too seriously, but it's actually way more suspenseful. And I'm having a great time with it so far.
Yeah, I was gonna say the splash page for it on HBO Max does look like a slasher.
Yeah, it's A is much more prominent, and that's not even a spoiler. Like, you see A all the time. And it's kind of like a Michael Myers, like, Leatherface kind of character. And it doesn't seem to be about the like the title suggests, Original Sin. It's not about the main girls in high school. It's about their parents. So that's also like another spin that different from the original show. I highly recommend it. It's a really fun watch.
Are they still lying?
Yes,
Okay.
plenty of lying.
But now they're adult liars.
The parents are the liars.
Are they still little?
So it's more like middle-aged, average-sized.
If you watch it on a
liars.
small screen.
Yes.
Oh.
It's basically
You can't watch it on a big screen. They're
No.
too small.
They're too small.
Yeah.
It actually stops you. It like checks the screen, and then it would
The
be like.
resolution just gets a lot
Yeah.
smaller.
Have you ever seen the Rugrats movie where it starts off as a small screen and then it gets big for like the movie? It actually does the opposite for Pretty Little Liars,
Yeah.
Original Sin.
You have to watch this on a Shrek CRT 8-inch screen. That's the only way you can watch this.
But yeah, it's a lot of fun. So
Colin, what have you been watching?
What have I been watching? So I just finished Westworld season 4 because the finale for it just premiered Sunday, and I enjoyed season 4 a lot more than I expected to. I was big into season 1 and 2, and then season 3 kind of got weird and like out there for me. It didn't feel like it had a direction, and I watched it with my best friend at the time, and I was like, you know what? It's one of those things where I'm turned off enough to the show. I'll probably drop it even if they do another season. And I watched episode 1 of season 4 on a whim, and I was like, nope, they pulled me back in. So it was
Okay.
good. I don't know if they're planning to do a season 5. I don't know how spoiler I can get into this, and because I don't know if people are also watching it but haven't seen it yet.
You might be the only one.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I'll round it out just by saying they ended the season in a way that I'd be very happy if they stop the series there. I don't think they've said whether or not they have. And a lot of people on Reddit were also saying it seems like they might have made some edits at the last second to
Oh, interesting.
make it able to be either way.
Interesting.
But I think it was a pretty good conclusion, all things considered. And then I've also been watching, the other thing I've been watching recently is Yellowstone. Has anybody here?
I have seen all. I have not seen the spin-off shows.
1893.
18 Sam Elliott sucks. But yes, I have unfortunately seen all of Yellowstone.
Unfortunately, see, I'm only
It's
in.
a number one show in America, right?
Yeah, I started watching it because people at my work watched it, and there's no consequences in that show whatsoever. Colin can say what he wants. I don't want to cut him off completely, but yeah, that if you like things blowing up and your main characters winning everything all the time, then it's a great show for you. If you want actual like plot and like. It's like one of those things. If you want a popcorn show, sure, great. Kevin Costner's going to Kevin Costner, and people are going to die. If you want,
Does he call people a pancake eating motherfucker?
oh no, that's a draft day exclusive. But yeah, if you want a nuanced show, it's not where you go. Anyway, Colin.
No, Holty's not wrong about it. I'm only into season 2, but I can definitely see what you're like. There's a lot less consequences. It's all about the Duttons kind of just getting their way, and they're assholes about it. So it's kind of got that. I've never seen Succession, but like I do kind of like that kind of show when like the main characters are assholes who you don't necessarily want winning, but they are winning. So it's good. It's one of those shows that Holty said he watched it because people at work were saying it. I watched it because enough TikTok clips of it showed up on my feed that eventually I was like, okay, fine, I'll give the show a shot. And yeah, it's been a fun like just. The way I've been watching it is like if I'm eating food, like if I got takeout or something, and I sit down, I'm like. Pop another episode of Yellowstone on.
It goes
For
quick.
sure,
Yeah, it goes quick. It does. So it's good for that.
Yeah.
And that's what I think those are the main things I've been watching right now.
Cool. I fell off after season 2 of Westworld, but it was like was it like a really long time in between seasons? Because I feel like
Yes.
I fell off after season 2, and that was a really long time ago
Same.
for it to only be after season 4.
Yeah, it
Like this
definitely stuff got paused for a while. I think it was the season 2 to 3 gap that took
Okay.
a while.
I think season 3, because I stopped after season 3, and I'm pretty sure there was a big gap between 3 and 4. Granted, pandemic.
Okay, that might have been. Yeah, that makes more sense.
Is Westworld the new Lost? I keep saying that. I want other people
Don't
to agree
think
with
so.
me.
Lost is good.
yeah, yeah.
No,
No, that's
that
fair.
Lost is actually better.
No, Lost.
There's actually good characters on Lost.
I just think about it from the.
Lost is better.
I just think about it from the perspective of everyone in quotes. Everyone liked season 1. And then it starts gradually getting more and more off the rails. And it's like the people I know that like these shows, I like Lost too, but the people that like these shows are like really into them. And if you're not into them, it's like a joke. You know, like I feel like that's the dichotomy I see.
I think Lost is still better because I think Lost was better for longer of its run than Westworld was. Because like season 3 of Westworld's not good. It started to falter in season 2. I think season 2's biggest hit was that I don't think it's as good if you watch it week to week. I think season 2 of Westworld is better, just because of how confusing and how many plot lines there are in it.
Yeah, I think we had friends that said that exact same thing. Like it's definitely not a binge show. It's a watch it, like pace yourself with it because it's a much better watch that way.
Yeah, season 1, season 2, I'd say less so maybe. Season 3 is just not good, and then season 4 is good as it was, I think.
Yeah.
And no, it's not like, and it's entertaining. And for me, like a big thing with sometimes how I consume media is like, even if it's not necessarily good, if it has really good moments and like beats that I can enjoy and go back and watch, which I think Westworld does to a degree. So that's what kind of kept me, like something would happen. Is like, that's a good moment. I'm going to hold that in my head like for a while.
Ben, what have you been watching?
Yeah, tell us, Ben.
Thanks
Tell us what you're watching.
Thanks for asking. I've actually been on a good kick of watching 2022 movies because I thought I had fallen behind a little bit. So I'll start with, I guess the headline, the one that I probably won't cut, even though I might cut the other stuff, is I watched Bodies, Bodies, Bodies.
Oh, I've been wanting to watch that.
It was good. I liked it a lot. It's not scary. It's more thriller-ish, intense. It's like Agatha Christie style, like they're dying one by one and they're trying to figure out who's killing them. But it's more like Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, if you've seen that. I'm sure Voss has. Where it's just these characters.
That was a yes, by the way.
It happens over one night and they're in like this pressure cooker situation. And it's like how the friends that you've had the longest are the ones who can like really cut the deepest. And they're really just like just picking at each other emotionally. And that's mostly what the movie's actually about. It has like a couple genuinely good scares in it, but I want to classify it as a horror. And that's not saying anything against the movie. I listened to a director to interview with the director. She described it as a black comedy. So yeah, people are saying it's like Gen Z Scream because it's horror and comedy, but it's not organized like Scream. It's not about the state of horror movies.
Right. I think I saw someone call it as like a comedic like slasher Mean Girls or something like that.
Yeah, they're very mean to each other. They're extremely mean to each other. It has a lot of interesting young actors and also Pete Davidson and
Lee Pace.
Yeah, well, he's 46, I think, so I wasn't counting him.
Young actor.
So I wasn't counting him. I mean, Lee Pace is great in it. I actually think they use Pete Davidson well because everyone in the movie thinks he's a dick, so he doesn't have to they don't have to try and convince you that he's like a likable guy.
Mm-hmm.
Which I feel like when he's used like that, it sort of stumbles. But he's used in this more like just like kind of doing his thing. So I think it's actually pretty good. And why I excluded him and Lee Pace from the young actors is because there's a lot of people I haven't seen in other stuff before. Maria Bakalova's in it, who I've only seen in the second Borat. So it was interesting to see her in like an actual narrative scripted film, you know? I liked it. Pretty good. I watched also Kimmy, which I missed when it came out a few months ago. I think like back in the spring on HBO Max. It's the latest Soderbergh HBO Max release. And that's sort of like a kind of guys like a throwback paranoid thriller vibe, like Parallax View, but set in COVID times and about if Jeff Bezos was like the big bad.
Oh, no.
It's about Zoe Kravitz. She works for an Amazon-like company that has a thing that sits in your house and they promise it's not listening to you all the time. It's called Kimmy instead of Alexa. and they don't say the company's name, but it's based in Seattle. And basically, she's the person who listens to mistake or like miscommunications with the voice activation thing, and she checks them and like puts in code so it like learns and won't do the same thing wrong again. And she thinks she hears like a violent crime over it. And but she's also afraid to leave her house because it's COVID times.
Gotcha.
So
Oh, that's terrifying.
That's a neat concept.
it's really cool, and it's Soderbergh, so like he does like some really audacious stuff that you're just like, that was that stupid or really cool? And then like it's Zoe Kravitz, and she looks like Zoe Kravitz, and she carries herself a lot of the time like Zoe Kravitz. But then you get to a point where she does have to leave her house, and she keeps her hands like straight down at her side because she has all this anxiety. And there's a part where she's running, but she's crouched over. And for some reason, they hold on her for a while, and it looks like she's Naruto running. And you're just like, why the fuck did they do this?
Oh no.
But it's still good.
That's so good.
It's still good. I recommend it. I think you're in and out in like 89 minutes or something. It's Soderbergh, so it's really stylish, and he probably filmed it on an iPhone. I don't know, but
Soderbergh's HBO Max movies have been actually pretty great recently.
I've
I haven't
liked
seen
all.
Kimmy, but No Sudden Moves is great.
I love No Sudden Moves. I thought Let Them All Talk was fucking awesome.
Yeah. Highly recommend all those. I can't say anything about Kimmy because I haven't seen yet. I also thought that maybe you watched Kimmy because you're like, well, I don't know if HBO Max is going to keep this or not. So I should probably get this out of the way.
That one I didn't get to yet. And I was like, they probably paid Soderbergh a lot of money for these.
That's what I'm thinking.
People probably still watch them, but like they're not giving warning for other stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to knock this off the watch list while I can. The movie this week is Wet Hot American Summer. 4 of us have seen it before. Colin hasn't. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, cool. I saw this for the first time in college, back when Netflix had stuff on it. And when did you guys first? That wasn't produced directly by Netflix. And it was, but I mean, they only got it so they could put their own seasons on. Whatever. We'll get to all that. When did you guys see it for the first time?
I literally can't remember, but it's probably been 10-ish, 5 to 10 years, somewhere in that stretch. I think I was out of college when I saw it for the first time.
And what year was that?
Rude.
If I had to pick a year that I saw it, it'd probably be 2014.
Cool.
I think I watched it literally like last year for the first time.
Cool. Foz?
I think I saw it for the first time in 2012. And I know the second time I watched it, it was with Holty. And I think for his second viewing.
Nice. So traditionally we do a 1-minute plot summary. Do you want to take it away, Colin?
Yeah, sure.
Whenever you're ready.
Setting is a summer camp up in Maine, Camp Firewood, and basically it's the last day of summer. So everybody's trying to like get through the last day. People are trying to hook up with one another, do crazy shenanigans. The main character, Coop, is into this girl, Katie. But Katie is with this dick, Andy, played by Paul Rudd. And so one of the plot lines is Katie trying to find a girl for Coop, but then like slowly coming to realize, oh no, maybe I like Coop. What are some of the other things that go crazy? The camp director falls for this associate professor neighbor of the camp who
10 seconds.
Who then comes to teach the kids. They get married and have a kid by the end of the movie, which is crazy fast. It's a really zany movie where a lot of crazy plot lines happen.
Good job. Yeah. You nailed it.
God, a minute goes by much quicker than you expect.
Yeah, it does.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I definitely had to rewatch this movie because we also watched the show, and I think there was like another movie, and it all got blurred in my head.
There are 2 shows.
Two shows. There was the 2 shows in the movie, and all of it got one big conglomerate of a concept in my head. So I needed to
The 2 shows
separate
are
it.
on Netflix, right?
Yes,
they're
yeah.
Netflix.
Those are still on there.
Those are still on there, yeah. Yeah, this is this on Netflix
No.
anymore?
Not anymore.
I don't
Great.
watch this on Go to the Movie, I think. Some
Okay.
free streaming site that definitely was not giving me viruses.
I bought it for like $14 on Amazon.
Yeah, I have it on Blu-ray. I think it was like $7 to own the Bluray. I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't realize. I was like, I'm just gonna buy it on Amazon Video because there's a 100% chance I'm going to watch this movie again someday.
Yeah, for sure. This one thing that I didn't mention about Kimmy because I didn't want to transition too early. David Wain's in it.
Oh, he's a Kimmy. Is he the Kimmy?
He's not the Kimmy.
Oh.
He's
He's the director.
He appears via Zoom as doing like a telehealth appointment with Zoe Kravitz as her dentist. And that is the only bit he's in. He's not even on camera, but he logged on to Zoom to film something for Steven Soderbergh. I guess they're friends or something. I don't know. So this movie directed by David Wain, written by David Wain and Michael Showalter, also produced by them and other people, but they're those two guys are the creative partnership. This comes after the States ended already, and that was like 10 of them that were really working on it. So then this was them really kind of branching out, and it's the first movie for a whole bunch of people that go on to greater heights. Safe to say, right?
Yes. I do have an Excel sheet
Nice.
prepared.
Well, who do we think Bradley Cooper is the most famous person now? Maybe
Yeah.
Paul
Paul
Rudd?
Rudd or Bradley Cooper.
Yeah, one of
I
those
mean,
two.
I'd say Paul.
Which Bradley Cooper, I almost didn't recognize him at first when I saw him in that
He's a
movie.
very young guy.
He's very young in that movie.
Most of them are in like their 30s, but he's 25. He had to miss his graduation from the Actors Studio in New York
Worth it.
because he finished school and then 2 days later he was on set. This is his first movie.
This is literally, his first movie. It's a second appearance, his second credited appearance ever. He had like some TV role, and then this was his first movie.
Alias.
Yep. Well,
The-
Alias
might have-
was after this.
No.
Was it not? It
No,
was.
I'm kidding.
Oh, sorry.
I thought it would be a joke. And we'd all
No,
move
I'm an
on.
idiot. So if we want to break down Bradley Cooper first on my
Yeah, why not? Bradley Cooper, he has like 9 Oscar nominations now.
So I've
No wins though, so he's a loser.
No wins. Yeah, he's a
I've-
9-time loser.
yeah.
I haven't lost 9 Oscars.
No, me neither. I have broken this down between where their career was at, what their breakout was, what their biggest thing is, and what they're doing now. So I humbly offer for Bradley Cooper, and this could be wrong because for the big names, there's a lot of stuff for this. He was doing nothing. It's his debut movie at the time.
Yep, he had just
His-
graduated.
His breakout depends on what you think of what you consider a breakout. But I have Alias he was big in a TV show. He was in Wedding Crashers, the movie.
That's a
which
bad
was,
guy.
That's the bad guy, which is probably one of his biggest. And his breakout was The Hangover. And then his biggest thing was probably The Hangover or like A Star Is Born, probably.
I would say a star. Only
American
because that, like,
Sniper.
for him
Probably-
professionally.
For him
A Star Is
professionally, it's A
Born.
Star.
Yeah. I would say Star is Born, and I definitely feel like his breakout is Hangover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he's currently doing Oscar bait.
Oh, it's some music. Bernstein, Leonard Bernstein,
Yes,
Bernstein.
Maestro.
Yes.
He has a lot of perhaps anti-Semitic makeup on.
Yeah, I've seen some of the makeup. Also,
got
Maya
big-
Hawke
got
is
big
playing his
hook
wife.
nose. He's
Yeah.
he's aged up in that movie. I mean, is it
Yeah.
like a full life thing? Maybe
I think it's supposed to be a full life thing,
I
or
like,
at least
I like Maya
no, wait,
Hawke a lot, but she is substantially younger.
It's
than
a-
him.
It's a 25-year span of Bernstein's life.
Okay.
I think of like when he first met Maya Hawke's character, Mrs. Bernstein, to whenever 25
Yeah.
years happens after that.
All right. A lot of people in old age makeup, I think, in them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. It's supposed to be really good, and I mean, it's his follow up to A Star Is Born.
Yeah, he's writing directing again, so.
right. Yeah, he's acted
Yeah.
since then, but his writing directing follow up to A Star Is Born.
So Bradley Cooper is not really in this that much. He gets an expanded role in the TV series, which we shouldn't like keep talking about because that's not what we're here specifically. But
It's not what we're here for.
that's not what we're here for. I do want to just shout out real quick that I love the DJ Ski Mask bit that he
Yeah.
does. So Bradley Cooper's in the first series, but obviously because he's very bit, our first season of the post, like it's like a 10-year later show. And it's supposed to be the same year of the first season is the same year of camp, but obviously everyone's just way older and they just don't care. But Bradley Cooper is playing himself, but because he's super busy, he has to keep like jumping out. So they have a party at the end of the first day of camp, and he plays DJ Ski Mask, which is his character in a ski mask that's definitely Bradley Cooper the whole time,
That's good.
and not anybody else.
It is a good bit.
You know it's him the whole time because he takes it off and you
Yeah.
see his face
You
and
see
then he
his
puts
face,
it back
and then
on.
he puts it back on for multiple scenes.
That's fantastic.
It's a good bit. I'm glad we mentioned it, but I do have to cut it out because those are the rules. It's a different
Damn it.
product.
Damn it.
Yeah.
So I'll probably reference this a lot if I mention like the other thing or the documentary or whatever. There is what I think it came out at the same time as those shows were premiering. So 2015, I think, on Netflix, called Hurricane of Fun: The Making of Wet Hot, and it's just now on David Wain's Vimeo. If you Google it, it comes up. You can just watch it for free. And it's an hour-long making of this movie. It is not required reading, but if you like the movie a lot or just want to see these really famous people before they were famous, it's pretty good. Half of it is like actual making of stuff, and half of it is them just like shooting the shit, which is pretty funny. Bringing it up now because Bradley Cooper in there is so... He gives off, and the reason he's so good in Nightmare Alley is because he has this vibe of like, no matter how successful or like smooth his character's supposed to be, you can tell he's trying. And he's always had that kind of like try hard vibe. Like you can always see the sweat with him, which I think is an interesting sort of vibe. Like Paul Newman kind of had that too, and he's obviously trying to do a Paul Newman thing, whatever. And in this thing, he's just talking about like, man, I was so excited to get here. And I like, even on my off days, I just come down to set to watch like Chris Meloni and Janeane Garofalo work. And I was really excited to like work with David Wain. But, and then you see like Bradley Cooper, who is like this 9-time Oscar nominee now. And he's talking about like, yeah, but I didn't realize like I got here and just like, it's crazy to watch like Zak Orth, 80 Miles, just like these people I'm just learning so much from. And, like, wow, I wonder if those people ever like text him and if he texts them back. Like,
I can name one other AD Miles movie off the top of my head, and it's Role Models, which is also a lot of these people. It's also a David Wain movie.
Yes. Is he in Wanderlust?
Probably.
I don't know.
If he's not in the movie, he was probably on set.
Yeah,
He
probably.
just hangs out.
It's funny in the Hurricane of Fun, there's a very, I don't know if it's just the edit that he got or whatever, but it seems like the person that everyone on set thinks is the funniest person there is 80 Miles.
Yeah, I mean, he seems funny.
Yeah. And it's just funny. Like he's doing a bit and you see like Amy Poehler and Elizabeth Banks and Bradley Cooper like, oh my God, that's so good. Like, yeah, you never put right.
Yeah, and he gets very prominent roles in the shows too, but like,
Yep.
probably also because he's around a lot because he doesn't have anything else to do. Like, I'm not trying to dunk on the man; he just hasn't had a very prolific career.
On the other hand, so this is Bradley Cooper's first big movie, but Paul Rudd had already been kicking around for quite a while at this time.
Yes, great setup. So Paul Rudd, who plays Andy, who's probably like top 5 build in this movie.
Mhm.
Before Wet Hot, he was probably his 2 biggest movies were Clueless and Cider House Rules, I would guess.
Halloween 5.
Yeah.
One commercial he did for Toys R Us, I think.
Yep.
Yeah. I could be wrong on the Halloween number, but I think he's in 5.
I want to say 5. It's either 5 or 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. His breakout was Friends and Anchorman, I would say. Both kind of, he was in Friends from like 02 to 04. He was like the end stage Friends.
It is always weird on like if I'm randomly rewatching Friends for some reason. The last scene of all the friends leaving the apartment, they leave their keys in Monica's apartment. He's there.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, this is like one of the most successful sitcoms of all time. And one of the final images is like Paul Rudd's part of it
Paul
too.
Rudd's there.
You don't really think of him as a Friends guy, but
Yep.
Paul Rudd brings that up a lot on interviews sometimes.
Oh, really?
Where he would be, where there, he talks about like all the friends are like crying and like, oh my goodness, we've been together for so long, and he's there like, yeah, guy, we've been together for so long.
That's a very Paul Rudd answer.
Yeah, that's great.
it really feels like in that scene, and I think it is something like he's like, oh, I'm gonna go bring the car around. You guys get the spotlight. And it's like he leaves when they leave. So.
Biggest thing I wrote, Ant-Man ? I feel like Paul Rudd's doing
Technically, Avengers Endgame.
Yeah, I guess.
Well, as Ant-Man, I think would
his
would-
MCU stuff is
Yeah.
probably his biggest stuff.
the
Yeah.
role
Oh,
of
yeah.
Ant-Man.
It's too bad.
And he's currently doing everything. He is.
America's Boyfriend, Sexiest Man Alive.
Yeah.
Has Bradley Cooper been Sexiest Man Alive?
I don't think he has. I don't.
He definitely
They
has.
only have one a year though.
Look it
That's the- Look it up. Nick
I'm looking
Nolte.
it up.
Nick Nolte, Sexiest Man Alive.
Because I feel like I looked it up recently and like I don't remember seeing him there. I wouldn't be surprised if he was, but I don't think he is.
Chris Pratt just keeps winning. So
Yeah.
Disgusting. Hold on. Bradley Cooper was Sexiest Man Alive in 2011.
So
11 years ago, Hangover. Bradley Cooper, gotcha.
Yeah, yeah, right. First name on the call sheet is Janeane Garofalo. You got anything on her?
Janeane Garofalo. She was Beth, probably with her and David Hyde Pierce, probably the biggest names at the time in this movie.
She's first on the call sheet.
Yeah, she's first on the call sheet. At Wet Hot, she was like, she did a lot of different things, but she was like mostly like a stand-up, just a general, a comedian. Her breakout, take your pick between Larry Sanders and SNL and Ben Stiller show. I'm not exact. Also, just stand-up comedy. Like she was just a
Reality Bites.
Yeah, Reality Bites. Like she was just a prominent comedian.
But yeah, this is after that.
Early to mid 90s big comedy. She's kind of she's a little falling. Not, I wouldn't say falling star. Seems a little rude. People know who she is, but she's not at the peak of her powers. I just wrote biggest thing 90s stuff here, and then
just her in the 90s.
She's mostly just doing voice acting, still in comedy. She's kind of at the same level she was then. She still exists. People know who she is. She's got a bit in The Sopranos as like an actress that is like a name. Like they're like, oh, in this movie it's got Janeane Garofalo, and she's just in it as herself. So like she's enough to pull that off.
She in a French accent is a lead character of Ratatouille.
Yep.
She was in Mystery Men before.
Oh wait, she played Cassette.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep. So which is probably her biggest thing since then.
She's been getting comfortably by.
Yeah. So she's an extremely political person, and that probably limits how big her career can go as someone who was extremely anti-war in the early thousands.
David Hyde Pierce.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. This is so. Where's Frasier right now?
During Wet Hot American Summer, he's doing Frasier.
Yep.
His breakout is Frasier. His biggest thing is Frasier. And what he's doing now is on Broadway, and he is also in Julia on HBO Max.
Oh, I think they are bringing back Frasier though.
Frasier.
Oh man.
So David Hyde Pierce has been in a lot of stuff. He was
you know how he knew Frasier was starting up again?
How?
He heard the blues of Colin.
Tossed salad and scrambled eggs.
Exactly.
Oh, that's good Frasier humor for all your listeners.
That's our target demo.
Yeah. They love how
Grammer.
smart our comedy is. David Hyde Pierce, a very, very prolific theater actor. So he'll always have that. He was in Osmosis Jones.
Wait, who did he play in Osmosis Jones?
What?
Wait,
He's the pill in Osmosis Jones.
Yeah.
Surrounded. He's also in Bug's Life, which was before this. But
Okay, yeah.
Slim.
He's had some voice. I mean, he's got a very prominent voice. And he's just kind of been in stuff. Like he's another good actor.
He dubs over Doug Jones in the first Hellboy and asks the producers, "Why are you having me do this? I'm doing the same thing he already did." And then in the second Hellboy, it's just Doug Jones's voice.
Doug Jones pretty good.
Yep. And he does similar voice. So
Yeah.
Doug
Jones has also been in more Oscar-nominated movies and Oscar-winning movies.
Unbelievable. He's also
Oh,
in
he
What We
played
Do in the
Dr.
Shadows.
He played Dr. Delbert Doppler in Treasure Planet.
There you go.
Oh, that makes sense. He looks like a Delbert. We can zoom through some people.
Yeah. If we want to do a speed round, I can do I'll just rip off the rest, and then we can argue. You can argue at the end. Hold all questions or hold all responses till the end.
Okay.
Ripping the Band-Aid off.
Okay.
Next, I have Christopher Meloni. Christopher Meloni is known for Law and Order SVU and Oz at the time.
And
Shit. What? I didn't write it down.
having an absolute dump truck ass.
Yeah. His breakout is Law and Order SVU. His biggest thing is Law and Order SVU.
Just cashing the fucking
And he's
checks.
currently doing Law and Order SVU.
He's probably
And
so
Harley Quinn.
And he's
probably
also
so
doing,
comfortable. That's like the absolute dream for a working actor.
he's
have
also
to
doing
imagine.
Law and Order Organized Crime.
Yep, that's fair. Amy Poehler was at the time doing UCB, Upright Citizens Brigade, and she might have started SNL. It also said she started in 2001. I don't really know the overall.
So they film in 2000,
Oh, sorry.
and in her bit, and she explains like what she does. She refers to herself as a performer in New York,
Yeah.
and this is like her first movie. And you're like, oh, founding UCB,
Yeah.
is what you mean
Yeah,
by
founding-
performer in New York.
her biggest thing, or her breakout is SNL. Her biggest thing is Parks and Rec, and she's currently mostly doing voice acting in movies. Like she's
Inside Out.
She's a pretty established actor at this point. John Benjamin as Can of Vegetables. He was mostly a voice actor at that point, which he still is, but like at the time,
That one surprised me. I had to look up. I was like, is that freaking Archie? I was so shocked.
His biggest thing, which is also probably his breakout to mainstream at least, is Archer and Bob's Burgers. Archer came out right before Bob's Burgers, but
you didn't do Molly Shannon.
Come at me with Molly Shannon. Fine. You know what her breakout was? SNL. You know what her biggest thing was? SNL. You know what she's doing now? I don't know.
She's a treasure.
She's good. She is a phenomenal SNL person.
Yeah.
She also has by far.
She's on. I'm so happy for you.
I'm getting heated. She is by far the worst bit in this movie. That bit is atrocious. It probably wasn't. It's my least. I almost fast forward through it every time it's there. I hate that bit.
Which bit is it? Because I
It's
don't know.
when she marries the child.
Yeah, no, that is a horribly problematic.
In my notes in the movie, I was like, oh, this is like, I love the whole way through the movie. I was like, oh, I love this bit, like with the kids being the therapist, is very cute, very tongue in cheek. And then the bit reached its culmination. I was like, nope.
Okay, so we're gonna cut all that out.
Smart.
And now the state.
and now
The State was a troop/TV show on MTV. How all that was for like SNL, but here it is for kids. This is like MTV's version of SNL, but for cool teens and young adults. And it was a bunch of people in this movie, including David Wain, Michael Showalter, also Michael Ian Black, and Ken Marino,
Joel Truglio.
Joe, JLT.
Boyle.
Yes, Detective Boyle from Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah, like if you look up the cast of The State, you'll just see 10 people and you'll be like, oh, I've seen them in other things. Like they're all very, for 90% of them are prominently in other stuff. Mostly Reno 911.
Yeah, Tom
And Burning
Lennon.
Love.
Yeah.
Tom Lennon, probably the biggest person from the state that isn't in this.
Here, yeah. Or in any of the show. I don't think he shows up in really any of the Wet Hot stuff.
Yeah. The State is this like cool, kind of very influential thing that you can find some clips of here and there.
I want to dip my balls in it. Have fun cutting that.
It's so that's like it's subversive. They're making fun of SNL a lot of times, and like their punchline catchphrase characters. Ken Marino has one. It's Louis, whose catchphrase is "I want to dip my balls in it." And he becomes like, he has like an existential crisis because he doesn't want to say it anymore, but no one will talk to him if he doesn't say it. Stuff like that.
It's very smart, and it was a weird fit for MTV in the early 90s.
Yeah. One weird thing, if you go and watch it now, because it's on MTV, it has a lot of like real music in it that whoever owns it most recently isn't paying for the music rights. So if you watch like a more recent version of it on streaming, which I don't even know if it's on streaming anymore, but it's all dubbed, so the words don't always match the mouths. And I mean, just in the bits where they were using songs, so it's not everything, but yeah, you can just watch The State. I'm sure it's a bunch of it's just on YouTube now. Gotcha. And that was really funny, guys.
That's everything. Do we want to go over Michael Showalter specifically now?
Just because he's a movie he directed last year just won an Oscar.
Yeah, so. And he's Michael Showalter and David Wain for that part are both very, very creative, very big Hollywood minds at this point, especially obviously within comedy. Not necessarily only in comedy, but I think Michael Showalter also was the Big Sick director. Obviously not the writer. That was Kumail and Emily Gordon. They also had Stella with Michael Ian Black, who's also in this as McKinley. Like that was a prominent show, probably late 90s, early 2000s on Comedy Central.
Prominent for like the people who watched it, but not necessarily like a huge cultural footprint, but still pretty cool. So Showalter and Wain direct this. Well, Wain's the credited director. They write it together. They're the ones who are really like driving the bus. They have 28 days of filming. It rains 23 of those days. They film it in May at a summer camp in Pennsylvania. It is unseasonably cold the whole time. So most of the scenes outside were shot in very cold and pretty murky, rainy conditions, but everyone had to, be in like swimsuits and wear like it was actually summer the whole time. So it was a pretty miserable production.
Yeah. Think of how many people were in the water that was probably like 50 to 60
Yes.
degrees at the time.
Yeah, if you watch Hurricane of Fun, it's clear that David Wain is just like losing his mind progressively over the course of it, and just looks like so miserable by the end.
I just always think of the scene where Zak Orth walks off the pier, and like you have one. It's another one like that in the nurse scene where like the nurse's office scene where they wreck everything. It's like you got one shot at this, and he's going face first into really cold water and has to like not pop up right away and go, "Oh my god, this is freezing," because that water was definitely 58 degrees.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it seems like it was a labor of love, but one thing that comes through in that documentary is that they all really believe in what they're doing, and they form like a real sense of camaraderie. They all actually treat it like a summer camp while they're there for that month. They live in the cabins, sleep in sleeping bags, eat in the mess hall, and I guess it was like just a huge party the whole time, plus being miserable all day and then drinking a lot at night around campfires and stuff. So it seems like they had a good time, and it is kind of sad because they all seem like, you know, this part of it sucks, but like we know this is really good, and it plays at Sundance. It sells out 4 showings at Sundance, and then audiences just don't get it at all.
Critics do.
Yeah, critics do. So we should actually get into the movie now. Seeing it for the first time, what did you think of it? Was it what you expected?
No, not really. Like, 'cause it was so wacky at times. It got really out. Like Holty was saying, like the nurse scene as an example for just how like crazy and chaotic it got.
Yeah.
Without necessarily any reason, but I loved that. Like it was everywhere. So I didn't know what to expect. Certainly wasn't that, but it was a lot of fun. Very funny. I like another thing that the movie did a lot that I loved were like awkward beats.
Oh yeah.
Like all the interactions between Beth and is it Henry are just so stupidly awkward.
I said
like,
no.
I said and like when he hands her the trowel and she just tosses it away.
Yeah.
It's just like I don't know. It was so.
I've got to go meet Jim's Stencil. You know Jim.
Big Jim.
It was just such like wacky, like awkward beat comedy that was it was really good. I loved it.
Is that what is it like? Meet me at the
Picnic table in 10 seconds.
In 10 seconds.
She just stands
Beth,
there.
good of you to come.
And all the kids are there.
And he's wearing a lab coat.
Yeah.
And I would he just walks into the mess hall. She sees him after having yelled no, doesn't even say anything. He asks some other random person, "Where are the nerdy kids?" And he just goes over to them. "I'm going to teach you about science." And she's just like, "Great, that's what we're doing."
Where
now.
are the indoor kids?
the indoor kids.
Yeah, so there's a lot of the style of comedy, I guess, went over a lot of audiences' heads if they were expecting it just to be the kind of movie that it's parodying. There's obviously absurdists, non sequiturs, some alternative comedy, I guess. I think Roger Ebert calls it like the alt comedy text for this generation of comedy. And yeah, I just love it so much. It is like it feels like it's very rock and roll, very punk rock.
Yeah, I love comedies in general. I know I like I love smart comedies, but I think I much prefer just wildly absurdist comedies where like it doesn't make sense, but it's not supposed to. Like one of my favorite scenes is definitely Ken Marino, like when he left the van and just running back to the camp, and like there's a bale of hay like that. He just like stopped, and it's like the biggest roadblock to him. He like has to pause, like he has to like assess, and then he does like this big like Mario jump, to get over it. Like that whole scene of him running,
and Joe Latrulio can't get around it,
and he can't get around it.
He looks at him and just is like that scamp.
Like that whole scene I think might be my favorite because it's just so stupid, but like it's not supposed to be smart. Like you're just supposed to laugh at how dumb it is.
Also, before that, Joe is chasing him on a motorcycle,
Yes.
and Ken is getting away pretty easily.
And it's not even Joe the entire time on the motorcycle.
You see shots of Joe like reaching out but not getting him,
very obvious stunt actor. Yeah,
and then I do want to. The scene where Ken is driving the car.
That's my favorite.
And he goes, "Oh shit!" and he crashes the car
ceramic
in the
sounds.
tree.
Yeah.
But there's no. He didn't. There was no reason for him to swerve.
And the best part, he's singing a song. He screams, "Oh shit!" And then you look at the steering wheel, and he like swings the steering wheel like he's flailing out of control. And then it cuts to the car, which just beelines and hits a tree. Like it's not churning at all. Like,
Yeah.
I also really, if we're just to continue the
So that happened to David Wain.
what?
That happened to David
Oh,
Wain.
no,
where he
dude.
just said, "Oh shit!" and he crashed his car.
He was working at a Jewish summer camp, and he, as like a counselor, had to take some kids on a trip.
No.
And he like left them at 1 a.m. because there was a girl he wanted to get back to at the main camp.
God.
And he was like, it was pitch black, but I was in a minivan and just like driving. And he said, I lost control and hit a tree and had to leave the minivan behind and like find my way back in the pitch black. And he says he had like covered in like brambles and stuff and got into a ton of trouble when he got back.
I really like, for just to full circle the Ken Marino stuff. I really like when they get out to the river to save the kids who are going over a very small waterfall that they're acting as like Niagara Falls. And
Oh, he's doing
yeah,
it.
Ken Marino runs out, but the camera stays on Joe Latrugio. He's just like, oh,
He's doing it.
yeah.
He's saving those kids.
He's doing it. He's doing it.
Oh,
He did it. He did it.
Hey, we're gonna stay on this. My favorite scene is
Next time you drive.
is when Joe shows up at the summer camp on the motorcycle. Clearly, it's him. And Janeane Garofalo gives, with perfect delivery, "Hey Neil, what's up?" That whole
so good.
scene, and then it goes into the tracing the call, and then the nurse's office. Just comedic gold.
Just to interject, this is why we did all the structure and the listing at the beginning of the episode because we knew
it's going to be Farley's show. That
yeah,
was
we
awesome.
knew it was going to devolve into the phone. Where's the fucking phone?
Oh my God.
And they definitely, I don't remember the doc. I've watched the documentary a while ago. They had to have only had one shot at that. There's no.
I think a lot of them they did that. It seemed I
they
don't know.
destroyed that room.
Yeah,
Like,
that
I know
has
they
to be
didn't
one
break
shot.
walls or anything, but like they broke glass jars. Like,
Yeah.
So like the fact that Janeane Garofalo nails that line, like I know it's not that hard to nail, but like all it
lot
takes
of
is one
pressure.
person breaking, her not saying that line well enough. Like, you know what I mean? Like I even to
Yeah.
the degree that I thought like near the end, Joe Latrugio, like right before they cut it, Joe Latrugio bumps into a lamp and then immediately just elbows the shit out of it and breaks it.
Yeah.
And they hard cut right at that moment. So my thought is that he probably wasn't supposed to break that lamp. Like they probably just said, just destroy everything. We don't care. But like he probably didn't plan on it. But the minute he did it, everyone probably just died because he just
Yeah.
did it so abruptly. So they had to cut the shot immediately because
Yeah.
he just bumps it and it just immediately with all force just cranks it.
I think the one that would have been the hardest to not break during is Janeane Garofalo while Paul Rudd is picking up the stuff he threw on the ground.
Making all the faces.
Yeah. One of the enduring gifts from this movie is him going.
I also really like the gif of him spinning around. He spins around the pole, flipping off Katie, and then as he's still spinning, the flip off turns into a high five from a kid who's not even looking at him.
Yeah, and then his double take at the end too. He's
Yeah.
also been memeified. Good movie. Yeah, I mean Paul Rudd's so good in this; it's ridiculous. Everyone is, but Paul Rudd's so fucking good. in this.
One of my favorite quotes is a Paul Rudd one where he's like, "What was it? It's like you taste like burgers. I don't like you anymore."
I like that 2 kids die.
They must have really thrown those kids out of the car, right? They had to. I don't know how you fake that.
I like that they clearly wanted to throw them into a ditch, but there was no ditches around. So they had to throw
on
them
the
into like a
side.
small hill.
That bit was great. I love that they did it twice too. Like,
Yes.
and people are like, "Oh, comedy comes in 3," but the fact that they only did it twice, they're
Yep.
like, "We'll just call this back one more time." You don't expect it, it hits. It's so good.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So I just love that they have to roll dice to stop.
If only we
The
had some
space
sort of machine that could count numbers from
Random.
1 through 20.
Can randomly generate.
But
Oh, man.
my
All those nerdy kids are great. Now they just have like a
The Cure
breakfast
kid.
club of
Yeah.
archetypes.
The Cure Kid, the Mork Kid.
Yeah, yeah, the more
classic 2000s
Yep.
bit more. I mean, I guess it's set in the 80s, but still.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Nanu Nanu.
we haven't talked about them going into town.
I was gonna
No.
say.
Oh my God.
Waterville is related. To
That, yeah, that was just wild because it goes from 0 to 100 just so quick.
Yeah.
Which really set the tone for the rest of the movie for me. When that scene, I was like, "Oh, okay, this is
We're going into
crazy.
town. Everyone gets in. They all go in, and they go from just hanging out, and then mugging old women and
Getting a
and
drink,
doing
addicted to
hard
hard
drugs.
drugs.
yeah, ending up in a trap house.
And then they show back up an hour later. And then on top of that, like that scene ends with just them going over and walking, facing against a cabin.
Perhaps the best bit in the entire movie.
Hey, guys, wait for me.
Hey, guys, wait for me.
And then just facing. Oh,
Oh,
my god,
no.
directly into the wall. If you're like holding on for dear life, I do have a couple games at the end of the show that can tempt you to stay. There will be some structure again, but this movie's just so good.
It really is.
Back in my day, we called it arts and farts and crafts. The whole Showalter doing the Borscht Belt like guy, so funny.
I hate white people.
And then like the whole bit where
Day by day.
the musical performance is like phenomenal, and then everyone's just like,
I also love that everyone was into it too, and they're like, "Yeah,
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
great."
Can I just also throw up the Higher and Higher song? Like legitimately slaps,
It
like
does.
really hard.
Yes.
Also, great montage.
Yeah.
Feel into the fire, taking it higher and higher. Yeah.
Opening song's good. Jane by Starship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a really good intro.
God, all the Beth and Henry bits are just so great. I keep coming back to them. Like she's like, something Henry. Oh no, please call me Henry.
Oh, yeah.
Every ceramic pot break sound, which
Mhm.
does just is so good. Like I don't know why they thought of that bit. Just anytime anything is thrown in that entire movie, there's a ceramic pot like break sound, and that happens like the first time it happens, they do it 3 times immediately. Like it's
I am honestly surprised how that just never got old. Like I laughed every single time.
I like that both Beth and Henry go up to Nancy and ask, "Hey, Nancy, if I had to get like a book, where do you think I could get one?" Well, off the top of my head, I say like a bookstore or a library.
Library.
Thanks, Nancy.
Oh, man. It's a good movie. If you had to just pick one bit.
definitely the walk-in. Hey guys, wait up.
Oh, yeah.
I also was very partial to when they're watching all the girls like take their tops off, and one of the guys goes, "Throw the ball."
Oh, yeah, okay. I was wondering
Come
why I had a
on.
note called "Throw the Ball." And my guy was that's the one. It's so good.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one.
So this is one of the, I guess, 3 of the 4 movies we've done this month that are very specifically at like the traditional camp at a lake situation. And it has one thing that I mentioned to the guys I did heavyweights with is there's the baseball scene in heavyweights that obviously it's in other camp movies too, but it is almost exactly 1-to-1 setup wise to what happens in this when they decide to just call it off because it's too cliche.
I did like
Yeah.
that. That was
so
a really
funny.
good bit. She's like, yeah, no, they were fine. They thought the same thing. They were fine with it.
It's
a little trite.
It's a little trite. Oh my god,
Uh,
so funny. Oh man.
the Chase Lounge bit.
Yes.
Sweet.
We actually haven't talked about the Bradley Cooper and Michael Ian Black.
Yeah. What are the name of their characters that the 2 guys
Ben and
yell?
McKinley?
Yep, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ben
Hey, Ben and McKinley, we got something for you.
It's a Chase Lounge.
Great barrel.
Oh my god.
Hope you like it.
Considering it's an 2001 movie and it's very respectful to like a gay romance, it's very
I
refreshing.
was thinking that when that whole I was so
Granted, it
ready.
does use
Yeah, a
the
couple
hard
of
F
slurs.
It
words.
does, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah.
2000.
Yeah. And I think that was more for maybe for comedic effect of just them being like,
worry
oh,
that
It's
Obviously
set
obviously
up
they're
they're
that
gonna
they're
be
not going to
bad.
be cool. With
Yeah.
it.
Also, when they do get married, I love that Amy Poehler is playing the lute.
Also, going back to him, this movie just dunking on associate professors. It means I'm less than.
Yeah, I think of that a lot too. I also I think it's around the same scene. Is what does he say that like you can say that when can you say that anytime? Dinner anytime.
Oh God, what is it?
Because I think of that a lot, but I forget what the setup is.
We're on the spaceship Earth.
Yeah,
We're all on the big spaceship we call Earth or something like that.
When would you call it that? Anytime. Dinner anytime.
What state? Oh my God. Well, Maine, obviously. So when he's doing the whole address.
Oh, you're actually too. Yeah,
Maine.
Oh man. Is there anything else we want to hit on in the movie before?
The end where Katie completely rejects Coop.
I'm just about sex right now.
God.
I just want sex right now, and I want it with Andy because he's like ripped.
Specifically Andy, not you.
I really,
Hey babe, get in the car.
This movie was kind of absurd and wacky. I thought there was going to be at least some structure. I didn't expect that heel turn at the end, which was great.
So good.
I don't know if we can talk about this too much, but when Molly Shannon and a guy from 30 Rock, Judah Freelander. He shows up at the talent show. In the background, Christopher Meloni is talking to some girl that we never see that girl ever before. It's just some weird thing that I just noticed this time.
It's his wife.
Never noticed that.
That's his actual wife?
He has a wife at the end.
Yeah, in Amazon it lists her as Jean's wife.
We didn't talk about Chris Meloni really.
No. Oh my, he was great.
Oh, we didn't also talk about the soup. I mean the can.
Oh yeah, we didn't
that's true.
We gotta talk about the can.
Yeah, we didn't talk about the vegetable can and Chris Meloni's relationship, and 80 Miles is in that bit too.
It's just that whole inspirational speech, but then at the end they wheel out the fridge.
Yep. Yep.
Oh my God.
Yeah, what's there to say? So he's like a Vietnam vet that has certain picadillos that he
fondles
accidentally
sweaters.
says and then pretends he didn't say.
Smears mud on his ass.
Yep. Humps fridges.
Right next to my can of dick cream.
What? Oh, so 80 Miles, when Christopher Meloni comes up to him and he does I'm gonna fondle my sweaters, he picks up the can and is like, you gotta talk to him.
Yeah.
Which has not been established at all.
Yeah, but he does talk to the can. The can
He
talks
does.
back with the voice of H. John Benjamin.
That's wild.
Tells him he can suck his own dick.
Yep.
And I do.
What else is great? Oh, the bit that it's just really good delivery when Coop goes, "Yes, I am. I love sluts. It's just got to be the right slut, you know."
Well, also
when they're switching their
sweater,
sweaters,
yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. Well, it was because I didn't know where that scene was going to go. And my one note on that scene is just, you got to love when they break down gender roles. And then they just keep going and switching the shirts.
All right. So I think we've probably been just quoting for enough at this point. So let's talk about putting some real hard facts and figures out on the board. On letterboxd.com at Late to the Movies, that's the number 2. You can find our profile and follow us for all these reviews. And we're giving it a rating out of 5 on a scale of your choosing. You can go by halves, but you can't go by quarters or anything less than halves. And let's go around the horn. Sam, you got something out of 5 on a scale of your choosing.
5 throw the balls out of 5.
It's gonna be 5 hay bales from me.
All right. 4.5 surprised Paul Rudds out of 5.
Okay.
So what's that 0.5 that you're taking off?
I don't know. Just how I felt.
If it was the Molly Shannon bit, I'd accept it.
I'm going to give it 5 canceled baseball games out of 5 due to it's already been done.
And I think for my scale, I'd probably give it a 4.5 talking food cans out of 5. I loved it a lot. It's just like, for me, I could, if I measure it, I think my scale is I could probably watch it one more time before I'd like be like, all right, I've watched it. Like it'd get old for me.
Yeah, I think you got to let it settle, and you got to forget some of it.
Yeah.
I feel like that about a lot of comedies, especially such like a bits heavy one.
Mhm.
You want to move on to the games and stuff?
Yes, please,
All
sir.
right.
Thank
So-
you.
We're gonna play a very special game first. It's a logic game, and it's called Zots and Crambles. Have you played it before?
No.
Okay, you'll get it. So you just got to figure out the logic of it. We're gonna go in a clockwise circle. I'll start the first one, and everyone's got to snap. And this is gonna be hell on the mics, but it's okay.
Do we want it in the mic or no?
Try and go away from it a little bit, and also at the same pace as everyone else. And so yeah, I'll say Zots, and then Sam will say Crambles, and you go from there. It's a logic game. So Zots.
Crambles.
Brambles.
You had to say
Oh.
Zot.
Zot.
Well,
It's okay. You still got it.
Say Zot.
Oh, Zots.
Crambles.
Zots.
No.
Huh?
All right.
Okay.
It's a logic game.
Okay.
You want to start this time?
Okay.
Okay, go for it.
Zots.
Cramble.
Zots.
Crambles?
Nope.
I think I might have it now.
Okay.
Well, we'll see.
Is it going to get to me and I'm just going to fail it?
Do you want to start?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Zots.
No.
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 Definitely
You
not.
fucked it up.
I think I got
Is
it.
it
I know.
just me?
No, it's a logic game.
It's a logic game.
You start, Ben.
Okay.
Do you have it yet?
I don't.
Okay.
Zots.
Crambles.
Zots.
Crambles.
Zots.
No.
Are you
don't
trying to
get
be a
it.
dick?
No. I don't know.
Do you guys get it yet?
I think so, but I think I have an idea. But I
You
think
guys
I'm
have all
wrong.
been saying the same thing, and then I say it, and it's like wrong.
It's a logic game.
Is it because I say it?
Okay, the game doesn't exist. It's a Stella bit. And if you had done the research, you would know that.
I don't know how that's gonna play, but that was really fun.
I got you on not knowing at all. I just went.
Just
The
because I'm
whole
watching
bit is-
X-Files,
that was part of
season
it.
7.
The whole bit is that you don't know who the person is, and it's just whatever Mike Voss says is wrong.
Yes.
And you just go until it's not funny anymore.
And I think we probably passed that. We blew past that point for
Nah,
anyone
that was
listening
great.
at
10
home.
out of 10.
I have a real game
I like
too.
the Colin. I think I know what it is, but like I don't. You didn't know what it was, but it was like I don't want people to get mad at me.
Well, no, because I had an idea. Like I thought it was like based on like beats, like you say it
that
on a
was
certain
supposed to be
beats.
like it's some kind of like
Rhythm
hand
thing.
motion thing that Boz wasn't doing. But
Like the Johnny Whoop game.
yeah,
I do have a real game also. And it's called, have you heard about this? It's a game in which
Are we all doing Jay Leno?
Yeah. And that's I always try and come up with like a really easy to remember name. So that's the one for this episode. And this has nothing to do with Wet Hot American Summer or the State or Stella or any of those people. It is about, despite its hilarious name, my sort of burgeoning anxiety about the future of film. And I'm going to describe for you a movie. You have to tell me if you've heard of it.
Oh no.
All of these are 2022 movies. I think
Are we giving you also the title of the movie, or just that if we've heard of it or not?
if you've heard of it, and you can give me the title.
Okay.
All right.
So
all right.
I'm
otherwise,
gonna
you could
be-
just say you've heard of
I'm
it.
gonna be terrible at this.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't-
this is 2022.
Yeah, I don't
no.
pay attention.
Some of them are pretty recent.
It's gonna be rough for me.
Oh, okay.
So it's just me being like, man, I feel like these movies should be a bigger deal, and like, what the fuck? No, like, I feel like movies used to be a big deal, and I just feel like we're getting away from that. It makes me feel sad.
Have you heard of Top Gun? The only big deal?
See, that would be a really easy one because you said Top Gun already. They just have to get Maverick. So there's 9 questions on this. The last one's a tiebreaker, but 8 of them are me describing a movie. You have to tell me if you've heard of it. 7 of the 8 are Netflix movies.
Okay. Oh God.
Oh no.
I know one.
Yeah, we know one.
So pick a number between 1
6.
and 8. We'll do 6 first.
Nailed it. You guys lose. I win.
It almost makes me feel like we should be doing this so there's a backing track, but it really would make no sense. And if we ever have to cut it, it's going to be a just horrible
Wait,
disaster.
I know which movie this is.
So number 6. So this is it premiered on Netflix. It is the latest film in a horror franchise that started in the 70s with one of the main slasher villains. Came out this year on Netflix. And so the way we'll do this, if you think you know what it is first, raise your hand and you can try and do it. If that seems the fairest way to everybody.
Oh, I got it. I heard of it.
Anybody else? Buzz?
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
It is Texas Chainsaw
Forgot
Massacre.
they-
He is going to destroy us.
Yeah, I know.
Definitely.
We saw.
We can also go around and then like maybe you get like first dibs at trying to answer and
Yeah.
then we go around.
Somebody,
That might be fair,
somebody
yeah.
sent a
So we'll
clip
start
of
with
that in our
Vaz.
group chat, and I completely forgot. I was like,
Yes,
I don't know
a new Texas Chainsaw Massacre came out in February on Netflix.
That's
Oh, okay.
right. With they had like the bus scene where they're all filming them, and it's like, you can't touch us because you're going to get canceled, and then they
And then they die.
Yeah.
They get canceled.
Good bit.
Since Vaz was the victim of Zots and Crambles, we'll say that was his first. And then the next one will go to Sam. And then if you get it wrong, we go and
Okay.
you get a chance to steal.
Fair.
You get a chance to steal.
I really hope you ask me the movie. I know. and not-
Pick a number besides 6 between 1 and 8.
8.
Okay. This is a comedy film directed by Judd Apatow.
Oh no.
Features an ensemble cast including Karen Gillan, Judd Apatow's daughter,
Yep, Mod.
Fred Armisen,
Yep.
Iris actually,
Keegan-Michael Key.
Maria Bakalova, David Duchovny, Keegan-Michael Key, Leslie Mann, Kate McKinnon, Pedro Pascal, Guz Khan, Peter Serafinowicz.
A lot of names.
Yeah, no, I've
Came
seen
out
the
in
trailer. For,
April.
I saw the trailer for this movie. I can't, for the life of me, remember the name of it. I'm just gonna say eggplant emoji.
Bree, you got a chance to steal.
Eggplant.
It's a movie on Netflix. I think it's just called Dicks or something.
Yeah, I don't.
You don't go?
No, I don't know.
A lot of famous people involved in this movie. Probably cost them a lot of money.
Yeah, no, I can
Whoa.
remember seeing the trailer.
Colin, you want to do it before I just say it?
Yeah.
At least everyone gets a chance this time. Before
Yeah.
Vaz.
Yeah. Right. I got nothing.
Oh, it's The Bubble.
It's The Bubble.
Bubble.
Never heard of it.
I definitely watched the trailer for The Bubble, and you could have given me 3 multiple choice answers, and I probably still wouldn't have gotten it right. I remember watching the trailer. And
I feel like Judd Apatow was a big deal for a while.
and then they made a bunch of movies that went on 45 minutes too long, and then I stopped watching his movies.
Spoiler, he always did that.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, they're all 45 minutes.
I was fine with This Is 40, but I think that was the last time. I think I was like, I'm good. And then I didn't really watch. I definitely watched Funny People, but I barely remember it. Like,
Trainwrecked.
yeah, Knocked Up was
King
fine.
of
I liked Knocked Up.
Staten Island.
Yeah, that
I
was
haven't seen King of
a more
Staten
recent
Island.
one.
King
yeah.
of Staten Island is good.
But did he write that?
He directed it.
I know he directed it, but there's
He
a
didn't- he
difference.
didn't write
There's a
the book.
difference.
Write it.
Did he not write this either?
He didn't write the book.
There's a difference between a Judd Apatow movie and like a uppercase Judd Apatow movie where he like wrote, direct. Everything.
I feel like since Funny People, where that was kind of a more personal movie, and that one did not do well, he's been kind of holding back a bit. And I don't know. That's what it seems like ever since then.
Bree, number between 1 and 8. 6 and 8 are gone.
4.
My number.
It's messed up. Okay, this is from the directors of the last couple Avengers movies, written by people who wrote a lot of the MCU movies. Stars Ryan Gosling, Chris Evans, Ana de Armas, Jessica Henwick's in there from Matrix and briefly Game of Thrones. I guess Billy Bob Thornton's in it too. It cost Netflix $200 million to make it. It's probably targeted at someone in your age range.
Has attractive people in it.
Ryan Gosling?
The
Yep.
Gauze.
Yeah,
This movie came out about 3 weeks ago.
3. Oh, wait, it's a color. Blue. I think
one of three colors.
I think it's
Is it a
red
trilogy?
something or is it not red?
I can see why you're saying that, but it's not.
No, then it's another one because a red I think is the one with Gal Gadot in it.
Yes.
Oh, I can't think of what fucking color this
All right, Colin.
Gray Man.
It's the Gray
There we
Man.
go. Okay. I knew it was a color. Oh.
I like that movie. It was pretty fun.
I haven't seen it.
Colin's got 1. Vaz has got 2 after the first 3 questions, and the next one's to Colin. He's got a chance to go ahead between 1 and 8.
Let's go with 3.
3, okay. This is a vampire film directed by someone in their directorial debut, I believe, formerly a stunt choreographer or a martial artist named J.J. Perry. Stars Jamie Foxx, Dave Franco, Snoop Dogg, Scott Adkins. It came out 3 days ago.
I was about to say it's the one that just came out, isn't it? I was literally looking at it on my next Netflix banner yesterday and was like, oh, you know what? I should watch this at some point.
It cost Netflix $100 million, and you saw it the other day. Do you remember it for their investment?
I'm just gonna go with blood.
Not quite.
No. Do you guys want to say it before I say
Oh,
it?
I don't know it.
Oh, it's The Day Shift.
It's called The Day Shift.
That's so good.
It looks. I want to watch it. It
Came
looks-
out 72 hours ago. This is what I'm talking about. This is Netflix said they don't want to make vanity projects like The Irishman anymore. Spending hundreds of millions of dollars on this bullshit.
It seems silly.
Yeah, I actually want to watch it. I think I'm going to like it a lot. So Vaz takes a maybe commanding lead. He's up 3-1, and he gets pick
All right, give me the deuce.
number 2.
The show, but
Yeah.
This
Dave
one,
Franco.
this one is the lone non-Netflix movie. It is. This one is upsetting to me because I feel like there's no buzz for it, even though it comes out in a little less than 2 weeks.
3,000 Years Longing?
Yep.
Go.
what was it?
Are we allowed
3,000
Are we allowed
years
to
of
curse on
longing.
this podcast?
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself.
So I'm
I'm looking forward to
disappointed.
it too.
I'm disappointed in the lack of buzz because it's George Miller's follow-up to Mad Max Fury
Yep.
Road, and he hasn't made a
Oh,
movie in
shit.
7
And it's
years.
Idris Elba
And Tilda Swinton.
and maybe her last role.
Oh, really?
I heard that she was going to retire, but who knows?
She's good.
I mean,
She's been-
I'll admit I
she
hadn't heard
works.
anything about it, but hearing that's
Yes.
what it's
It looks
related to,
good.
sounds
It looks
great.
fun.
Yes,
It looks crazy.
It's the follow-up. It's George Miller's follow-up to Mad Max Fury Road. It's out in less than 2 weeks, and it's a tree falling in the forest. Sucks. Vaz is up 4-1 to 0 and 0.
Total 8.
Yeah.
There's 8 and then a bonus.
All right, you guys have to.
But
basically-
everyone-
you have to
Anyhow,
hand them
who
to me
cares?
so that I can potentially take.
I know a lot about movies. I keep up with 0 current event movies. Like I don't.
The bonus is going to be like get closest to the number, and whoever gets that gets, we'll say, a number of points that would tie you with Vaz, whatever it is.
1.
Number 1.
Yes.
Okay. This movie.
Spiderhead.
It's not Spiderhead.
Damn it.
You can't pause this.
This movie is
If it's not Spiderhead, I'm not gonna know it.
this movie's coming out on Netflix later this year, but is premiering in less than a month at the Toronto International Film Festival, yet hasn't released a trailer yet. It's the sequel to Knives Out. What's it called?
What's her name?
Keep
You
in
guys got
mind.
For $5 million.
What's that name?
Keep in mind, about a year and a half ago, Netflix paid $469 million to put out the next 2 Knives Out movies. One of them premieres in less than a month. What's it called?
I love Knives Out. Knives Out is
It's a
one of
sequel.
my favorite movies.
What is it?
Oscar.
What's that name?
Well, it was a big surprise hit.
Yeah.
It was nominated for
I
Best
could
Original
name
Screenplay.
every actor in Knives Out.
The sequel is, in addition to Daniel Craig reprising his role as Benoit Blanc.
Oh, that sucks because I was definitely going to guess Ben or the origins of Benoit Blanc or something.
Is that your guess? Official?
Edward Norton, Janelle Monáe, Catherine Hahn
good
are in
call.
this one. Dave
Gun-
Bautista.
Guns Out.
It's not Guns Out.
Bree?
And it's a movie that premieres in less than a month. They paid $500 million for it.
Yeah, I don't.
And that was
remember.
just for the rights. That's not even the production.
Knives Out 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Not quite.
Colin?
Voz, you're enjoying this too much.
I don't know what you mean.
It's like we're both hosting.
I'm like the plant.
Yes.
House party.
Not qu-
Glass onion?
It is Glass Onion.
What? Oh, that doesn't even sound familiar. Never mind.
Yeah, I guess I didn't even know.
Well, it's someone's job to make you familiar with that, and it's not.
Why would they name it Onion? Ugh. That doesn't
Yeah, they
evoke
just-
good feelings.
Just play the Beatles the whole time.
They could have played Green Onions by Booker G and the whatever. Booker T and the MGs. Sorry, I missed.
Voz has 5. Colin's got 1, and it's Bree's number.
7?
This movie premiered on Netflix in June.
No.
I've mentioned it on the podcast before.
No.
It premiered while the director had a different movie that was the number one movie in America. That director being Joseph Kosinski. It stars Chris Hemsworth and Miles Teller.
Don't say it. There's a chance I can beat him.
No, I need a point. This is Spiderhead.
This is Spiderhead.
I want to be on the board.
That's fair.
I'm upset.
This was a horrible movie.
Was
A movie that I know you guys have seen.
Is it
Yes.
bad? It's on
It
my
is really
potential
bad.
to watch
Don't
list.
watch
Okay,
it.
fair enough.
Read the short story.
It
Okay.
cost Netflix $100 million.
Wasted.
3.
Yeah, there's still a couple left.
Oh, fair.
5 is not also open. 3 is not open though.
Oh, so
Oh,
it's
okay.
5. Yeah, 5 then.
5.
5.
Bree has 1, Colin has 1, Voz has 5. Correct?
So there should be
Yes.
only one left.
There should be only one left, and he just picked it. This movie is an animated movie that features voices of Glenn Powell, speaking of Top Gun Maverick,
Oh no, fuck me.
Jack Black, Zachary Levi. It's directed by the Richard Linklater, who directed Dazed and Confused, the Before trilogy, Boyhood. Everybody wants some.
Don't do your wistful sigh. I
Mike Foz was the worst winner of all time.
I think it's this. It's God.
This one came out back in March on Netflix.
Oh, this is maybe not what I'm thinking of.
No, sorry, April 1st on Netflix.
I think you're thinking of the C one.
Yeah.
It's not that one.
Oh, then fuck me.
I almost put Sea Beast on this, but Sea Beast.
I still
isn't
need to
on
watch
this.
Sea Beast. It seems great.
Well, yeah, I didn't want to like rag on it because it's fairly recent. Apparently, it's pretty good.
And then I got no idea on this one. I got it.
Yeah,
You guys.
No.
you gotta get it. You gotta get it correct though.
Oh, it's Apollo 10 and a half, a space age childhood.
Yep.
Oh.
Nailed it.
Go.
I was really
My
hoping he was
fucking
going to mess
God.
up like a clearly
No.
obvious word, and I was
Do
gonna
it.
I
steal
saw the
it.
movie.
Like it was the Apollo.
Quick aside,
Yeah.
Sea Beast seems great. That one shot of the like the deep creature that sinks back in, like that thalassophobia feeling, is just like so
Oh,
good.
geez, yeah,
Ah, it's good.
yeah.
I see it.
So Voz is at 6.
Fucking hell, man.
Colin and Bree both have 1. This list question is for 5 points.
What? Come on.
I did have it written down here. It's for 5 points.
All right.
Just get it right.
Maybe.
So today is, as we're recording this, August 15th, because by the time this episode comes out, the number will be different. But as of today, August 15th, how many, and we'll go around and everyone can pick a number, how many feature films has Netflix put out this year? And it's feature films, so it doesn't count documentaries or TV shows. We can start.
Start with Voz and go backwards.
I was gonna say he has the most points,
And
so
then-
maybe he should go
and
last,
I have the last.
as far as Voz can go last because he gets an
I've earned
advantage.
it.
He gets an advantage for being in
Damn it.
first.
I was definitely going to say one more than whatever Voz said.
Go.
27.
Okay.
Oh, that's so close to what I was gonna guess. I'm gonna guess like 36.
Okay.
23.
Okay.
I'm gonna guess 73.
Vaz is the closest, but he's under by 20.
I knew they were
Netflix-
releasing a bunch of garbage.
Netflix has put
yeah, I
out
guess it is.
93 movies so far in 2022.
They got a lot of shovelware on there.
I think planned to release on their calendar is if you count those, it goes up to like 120. I want to say something like that.
Yeah, and God,
So yeah, so that's why I said the number's going to change because I think 2 come out at the end of this week, and I think that's what, like 2 a week. I think is the average, something like that. 2.5 a week, maybe.
maybe.
Yeah.
That's bonkers.
So yeah. So I didn't mean it to be completely Netflix focused, but I started looking at their stuff. I was like, well, they're paying a lot of money for these things.
Yeah.
We gotta talk about this. So they're hemorrhaging.
That's crazy.
Anyway, so Vaz went, yeah, you hear about this? Good job, Vaz.
Oh, thank you.
With 11 points, I guess.
We should. So you should at the beginning of this, just like before anyone starts talking, just be like, please wait till the end and just at least play the game, like, or at least listen to the game.
I might put in the description, like, there is game at the end. Yeah, I think. Well, I mean, he got sots and crambles,
Yeah,
so he
I
gets
got
to.
Sots and Crambles.
He gets to win.
And crambled.
It's fun that it worked out that way. Anyway, yeah. Well, I guess what am I supposed to say? But it's always nice to podcast, even if just for an hour. Thanks for being on the podcast, and thanks for listening. You can find us on latetothemovies.com. I never mentioned that there's a website. There is. From there, you can navigate to all the different places you can listen if you're not sure where you want to go. It's Stitcher, Spotify, Podbeans, Google Podcast. That's just Googling this podcast and pressing play. Google Podcast. I'm forgetting any of the big ones. iTunes, Apple Podcasts. I mentioned Podbean, so that's all that matters. You can go on TeePublic, find our storefront, buy all the shirts. There's only a few thousand left, so get them while they're hot. You can also get us, you can send us an email at latetothemovies@gmail.com. That's, again, the number 2. latetothemovies_podcast on Instagram.com if you want to see a nice poster that we do every week where it looks, I don't know. I think they're fun. I think they're funny. If you don't think so, don't tell me.
I do love those posters.
Thank you. I didn't mean to go so aggro at the end here. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I just feel like I'm forgetting something, but whatever.
You mentioned Podbean, so
Yeah, then what else is there really? I want to keep doing the podcast, but I'm just all about sex right now, specifically with not this podcast. So I'm gonna go. Thanks, guys. Sam, Bree, Colin, Vaz.
Woo!
Thanks for having me.
Anytime.
Bye.